Hi, this is Anna Imagination with the Healing Garden, hmm, with the Philosopher's Garden. And I am a philosopher, psychologist, sociologist of 30 years. And I am talking today on symbols, symbology. Symbology is the study of symbols. There are a lot of conspiracies out there, conspiracy theories. There's a lot of focus on it. Dan Brown fueled this with Da Vinci Code and went nuts over it. And I never gave it any credit. I never gave it any. I went, oh, that's fascinating. And that was about it. It absolutely no interest, none. And I'll be talking to somebody and they'll bring it up like, oh my God, the symbols. And they'll start showing me all the symbols. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. The reason why I give zero of my attention to symbology is for this. Yes, it's fucking cool. I'll be the first to tell you it's fucking cool. But you've missed the point. A symbol is a communication. And in most cases, it is a communication. Oh, how do I put this? Symbols are used throughout history for 12 perspectives to speak to other 12 perspectives. And it's nothing more than just a breadcrumb, hey, get your attention. Exactly as you saw in the Da Vinci Code in the very beginning, when he laid himself out in the Vitruvian man's body and then drew stuff all over it. It was for no other reason than to get them there to begin with, to get her attention. Symbols have a purpose, and they are not meant for anybody less than 12th perspective. Symbols have a purpose. Their purpose is for nothing else than to just check mark. It's a bookmark. That's it. It's a bookmark. It's just a glorified bookmark. It's just a bookmark. And there are several types of bookmarks. There are bookmarks from Rome. There are bookmarks from Egypt. There are bookmarks from Ireland. And they are meant for absolutely no other purpose than to basically get 12th perspective's attention. That's all. In the meantime, everybody who is first to 6th perspective becomes obsessed with them. And they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. You're showing me a bookmark. It's just a bookmark. And I have listened to a lot of conspiracy theorists going on about what it means and the connection, and it's just a bookmark. It's just a bookmark. For instance, this is my favorite one, Vitruvian Man. The Vitruvian Man is nothing more than just a bookmark. Da Vinci meant absolutely nothing by it, except if you're at 12th perspective, you need to look at the Vitruvian Man. So you look up the Vitruvian Man, and it was just who was Vitruvius? That's all it was. So then you look up who Vitruvius was, and that's what matters. But how do you say, 12 perspectives? You need to look into Vitruvius. In order to do that, Da Vinci basically drew this ridiculously, okay, fine. He put it to some purpose, yes. It shows you the geometric spacing, and it did change the way we look at art, and it completely redesigned the geographical proportions of art from that point on, which was really nice. But aside from the art movement, it's absolutely irrelevant. The point of the Vitruvian Man by Da Vinci is to say, hey, 12th perspectives in the 5th dimension, you need to look at Vitruvian. So when you look at the actual Vitruvius himself, and you look him up, what you will notice with Vitruvius is, first of all, he was an architect, and he was the inventor of central air heating in the 1st century and indoor plumbing in the 1st century. But more importantly, he kind of knew Julius Caesar. That's really important. But most importantly, he knew the God Code. That's it. He gave Caesar and, well, both Julius and Augustus the God Code. He had the God Code, which is how he made the aqueduct, how he made all this other stuff that he made. So when Da Vinci sat down later and did all this stuff with it, it really was for no other reason than to just kind of flag, bookmark, get attention, and say, you need to go look at the Vitruvian Man. Because when you look at who Vitruvius was and his political connections to the Roman Empire, it's kind of a big deal. It's actually a huge missing piece to it. But how do you get a 12 perspectives attention? Breadcrumbs. You bookmark it. So all of history from the 400 BC to the year 2023, there are thousands of little bookmarks all over history. But you have to study philosophy, sociology, psychology, history, the Roman Empire to find them all. And the pyramid with the eye, that's one of them. All of them, they're just bookmarks. They are just bookmarks. They're Easter eggs. Literally, every time you see a symbol, it's meant as a bookmark or an Easter egg to say, you need to look closer at this. And I think I had a whole whopping 30 days. It was 30 days. I read the Da Vinci Code, and then I think I spent 30 days actually looking into it, going, wow, this is fascinating, and following it. And then I went, oh, they're just bookmarks. And I lost interest and threw it out, which is why I never went on to study symbology, is because they're just bookmarks. And in order to know what it is they're bookmarking, you have to do a lot more research. I quickly found out that as cool and fascinating as it was really irrelevant. Now, there's a lot of people who are going on about conspiracy theories and it's all a thing. And they're right. It's all part of the big one, the big one conspiracy. And you can't figure that out until you have the 12th perspective. You need all the pieces. So symbology is one of those things where people get hung up a lot on what's going on. And what's funny is between mythology, oh my God, worst word ever written in the entire human world is that word. There's no word I hate more than methodology. And I don't know why I just said it. Metaphor. That's what I meant to say. Metaphor, allegory, and symbology. These three subjects are just bookmarks. It's code because you need to get information passed underneath a very, very aggressive government. And you have to make sure that it actually goes under their radar enough to communicate to the right people. The right people are people who are 12 perspectives. And if you follow how it all actually passes through history, it's really fucking cool. It's really, really fucking cool. But you have to know how to read the symbology. You have to know exactly how to recognize a bookmark. It's such a vast area of study. It's really cool. But if you're spending more time focused on the symbolism, if you're spending more time focused on what could it mean, there's no meaning other than it's just a bookmark. It's just a bookmark. And it was funny at first, fascinating. It was fun. It was fascinating for 30 days. And then it got to be funny where I was watching people become hyper and really like, oh my God, this is amazing. And if you look here and if you look here, yeah, they're breadcrumbs. The thing is, it's a form of communication. And what they're really trying to communicate is completely being missed. And that is where it's something that really, really aggravates me with. You've got people who are oblivious, and then you've got people who have figured that there's something, but they can't quite figure it out, so they're guessing. And then when you get to about the 8th perspective, you start to notice it. That's when things start to change. It's when the Bible changes. It's when the Bible completely becomes something different, and you go, "Oh, it's all in metaphor." Really, that's when 8th perspective is when you read the Bible and you go, "Oh, it's all in metaphor." None of it's supposed to be literal, but second perspectives can only think in literal. We start literal, abstract, rhetoric, allegorical, and concrete. These are concepts of these are stages of education. This is really important. We are so prejudiced against children that we're idiots. That's really what this comes down to. We are so fucking prejudiced against children that we're stupid. This is how severe it is. A second perspective only can think in literal terms, like a child. 2-year-olds can only understand literal. They take everything serious because they don't understand anything beyond literal, just like a second perspective, which is why all the second perspectives literally take the Bible literally, because they have the mindset of a 2-year-old. So they are applying literal translation to a metaphorical text, because metaphor doesn't exist in the human mind until you reach a level of education and comprehension. About the fifth perspective, 5-year-olds. 5-year-olds can kind of start to understand metaphor a little bit if the 5-year-old has not been suppressed. But it's not really until the 12-year-old, which is around 6 years old, if the child, well, by then the child has definitely been suppressed. Sixth perspective is when you can start seeing and comprehending metaphor. Fifth perspectives, not really. Allegory does not exist until the sixth perspective. So if you do not understand allegory, it's because you are of a probably second, third, fourth perspective. So literal happens around the second stage, 2 years old. And then you get into the simile. Similes are common. Simile happens around 5. And then metaphor happens around sixth perspective. So once you understand where this, and then abstract, boom, abstract happens. Oh, abstract happens around the sixth perspective. So the Bible was written in metaphor, but you've got a lot of second perspectives who are literal thinkers because they have the mindset of a 2-year-old translating a metaphor literally. And we do this a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. So when the symbols come along, the symbols are actually metaphor. Symbology is 100% metaphor. It's metaphorical. The metaphor is bookmark this. That's all. Just bookmark it. I do it too. In my podcast, I use the word Easter egg. That's all. I keep it simple and transparent. Easter egg. I just say Easter egg. And that is no different than using a symbol. That's like me holding up an eye over a pyramid. It's just a bookmark. And there are people, and honestly, it's a riddle. We all love doing this. Oh my God. It's like when you get to the 10th perspective, it becomes, oh no, I think it was 8th perspective. When you get to the 8th perspective, it becomes fun. It becomes a massive puzzle. And then you start solving the puzzle because that's how 8th perspectives think. Oh my fucking God, do we love our puzzles? That is probably the easiest obsession that we've ever, like, that is our thing. And it continues from 8th perspective. After 8th perspective, you have fun with this shit. And of course, why wouldn't you? Like, if I get Da Vinci. Like, Da Vinci's like, oh, I'm going to totally have fun with it. We're going to figure this shit out. And you just do a bunch of shit that doesn't mean anything other than, hey, look at this. That's all it means is, hey, look at this. But how do you get, hey, look at this, to the right people? So there's like, yeah, there's so much with Da Vinci. Da Vinci is so much fun. So much fun. Like, there's all of his work. And then there's the line of each work. And then there's the riddle that he encompassed it all in. And I'm doing the same thing. You just fucking love riddles. So it's when you start to riddle your own riddle and you figure out the big riddle. This is my favorite thing. And you start to solve the big riddle. And as you solve the big riddle, you figure it out and you go, oh, there's the big riddle. And then you go, I got to add to this thing. There's no other reason for it. You just got to add to it. Because you see that Christ added to it, Da Vinci added to it, the Islamic Golden Age added to it, Vitruvius added to it, Pythagoras added to it, Ben Franklin added to it, and you're going, oh, it's my turn. That's exactly what it is. It's my turn. So when you get to like the 12th perspective and you figure out and you map the whole damn thing, you go, yes, it's my turn. And it's, oh my God, it's so much fun. It is so much fun. So instead of like trying to figure it all out and translate it all and pull out all the threads and tangle it all out without knowing the full perspectives, I love to sit down and have a dinner with. I would love to talk to Dan Brown. Dan Brown is somebody I want to talk to and just like, you want to know what's really going on with their Da Vinci Code because damn, this is awesome. And then show him like, this is what Rome did. And just lay it all out and then just draw all the pieces. Like, I really need to do that. Is like, we're going to draw this from over here to over here. And every time I start laying it out to people, I get the same response of, oh my God. And it's like, yeah, it gets better. Just wait. There's so much more. So yeah, this is the God Code. This is it. It's just, it's drawn all over the place. And this is my favorite part is I remember when I read Da Vinci Code, I was like, "Oh my god, is it the Holy Grail? Is it Christ's there?" No, it's the God Code. It's the God Code. It's the God Code. And it's once you figure it out and once you see it, the whole history just lights up like a Christmas tree. And like I said, I get to that point where you realize that it becomes this, oh, I got to keep adding to it just for the fun of it. So yeah, you add to it and you keep it going. And in 300, 400 years, someone's going to see my work and be like, oh, I got to add to it. And it's like, yeah, that's right. You add to this thing. And it just becomes so much fun. It's like once you break the code, you have the joyous fun of playing with it and making it your own and then adding your own onto it and then setting it off into the history and just watching other people try and figure it out. And it's wonderful. And it's absolutely, it's like the ultimate Mensa. I should probably put in my application for Mensa. It's like the ultimate Mensa riddle. It is this thing. And it's just, oh my God, it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. I need to study Ben Franklin because I haven't touched his work at all because American politics is gross to me. But really, Washington, D.C., Ben Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, I really need to like dig and pull that apart. And I just need to read Ben Franklin's information to get all of that. And, that explains why he went on as a woman at one point. So Ben Franklin took on the gender as a woman. And now I understand why. It's like a whole, I get that now. So yeah, I have like no flout, no interest at all in symbology. To me, it's like you're getting excited about a bookmark. You know that, right? You're just getting excited about a bookmark. And what it really is you found something and you don't know what it is. And you're convinced it's something. Yes, you are right. It is something. And it's a whole, what does it mean? What does it mean? And it's, yeah. I actually will not. I'll get into most of it. I will get into like half of it online. I will get into half of it on web camera. But really, the other part of it, I will not talk out loud until later. Like I will not say certain words. I have like 2 banned words in my brain that you do not say these words out loud. Because when you say them out loud, you die or you disappear. So I'm not saying those words out loud until I have substantial fame and fortune to keep me safe. So prior to that, though, everything else I'm like excited about, and it's so much fun. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So that's all I have to say about that. Thank you so much, and may the kindest of words always find you.